I'm super excited to be interviewing WNBA champions, the Seattle Storm's Jewell Loyd. Hope you enjoy. Hey,
What's up? How you doing?
I'm good. How are
Good. Nice sweatshirt.
you? Thank you. So yeah, I'm really excited to be chatting with you. You're one of my favorites. I model my game after you, and somebody would like to say hello.
The classic bobblehead.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm just really excited to get started. Yeah, so let's. Did you imagine you would be a WNBA champion when you were my age, 10?
Um, at your age, 10, I think I was just so in love with the process of playing basketball and playing sports with my friends. I think maybe they saw the vision early on, but for me, I just loved playing sports. I loved to be out there and playing. But as I got better and started playing high school and started to figure out what I really wanted to do, yeah, winning a championship was something of my, my dreams. My target was to, like, how do I do that? I would love to win a championship. But yeah, I don't think at 10 years old I was focused on that.
I'm pretty sure you played tennis, but I want to know what sports other than basketball did you play growing up?
I played soccer, I played football, I played baseball, I played volleyball as well. I was all in on everything. I would literally play any sport. If you have enough numbers, I will play. So I grew up playing any sport possible: wood chips, tag, dodgeball, everything. You can anything. I was always playing.
Sounds like you were really athletic growing up. Um, so when, where, and why did you start playing basketball?
So I have an older brother. He is 8 years older than me. He grew up playing basketball, and the norm where we're from is everyone goes to the park and you play basketball, whether you're really good or whether you're really bad. Everyone just plays. So I remember going to the park when I was, 4 or 5 years old, literally every single day, watching my brother play, and then trying to play when I could kind of hold my own a little bit. And then, yeah, I mean, I would say 4 or 5, I kind of started to get into basketball, and I didn't really take it serious until 6th or 7th grade. We were Lincoln Hall Jaguars, and that's kind of where it all started, back in, Lincoln Hall.
So transitioning into your college career, what was your experience at Notre Dame like?
Yeah, college for me was a different experience. I appreciate everything I've learned going to college and being in a different atmosphere and having to, for me, grow up a little faster than expected. But it was, it was a different experience. Not everyone's experience is the same, but I took everything that I could from those 3 years I was there, processed it, and, I was ready to go once I left. So, I'm always glad that I made the friends I did at that school. But yeah, I was ready to hit the pros.
So when you were at Notre Dame, you played with players like Skylar Diggins-Smith, Natalie Achonwa, Kayla McBride, which is quite a lineup. What was your experience like playing with them?
Yeah, you come in as a freshman and, you play with Skylar and you realize, who you're playing with and everything at that time too. College basketball was on a rise, and Notre Dame and UConn we had some of the best rivalries in the game. And so you're put into a different atmosphere right away, right? You're expected to win. You're expected to go in there and be something special. And so learning how to play in big games, learning how to understand the game of basketball. It was good to play with Skylar. It was good to play with our teammates. One of my best friends now is Natalie Achonwa. We talk to this day, and she's my homie. So I learned a lot from her. She was a great leader. And she kind of took me under her wing. She watched out for me a lot. So I have a lot of respect for her. And it was great. We were very fortunate to play with each other. We were a part of greatness and history as well. I mean, I think we're the only team that was able to beat UConn 3 times. We had some big games. So it was a really great honor to play with those players.
One of the things I really love doing is going back and finding some of your college games and being able to all of you play. So just transitioning into your WNBA career now. What was your draft night experience like as number one pick?
Draft night was quick. It was surreal because, you always kind of think of those nights of, okay, this is my night. My name's gonna be called. I get a jersey. Like I'm on stage, and the fact that I was there with my family was amazing. Everyone who was supposed to be there was there for me. And so I take that, personally, I love that my family was there to share that experience with me. I love that my godfather showed up for me. But then also realizing that your dream is about to start, that is about to become reality. And so you don't have a lot of time to kind of embrace it because you move from like station to station after your name is being called, but being able to, at the end of the night, be like, man, like I'm drafted, like now it's time to get to work. Like it's here, like it's actually happening. You wait so long. And so it was amazing to experience that and have the people around me that I love see me do it. But yeah, it was amazing.
And then pretty soon after that, you were Rookie of the Year. What was that like?
Pretty soon. It took me a minute. No, coming in, I wanted to come in and prove people wrong. I think the fact that I left college early, a lot of people thought I made the wrong decision. I got a lot of backlash for it. So coming in, I was like, I have to make sure that I'm right. I can't be a flop. I can't be, I had to show up. And so having that early emotion early on, I realized I needed to take a step back and let the game come to me and process what was going on and learn how to be a pro. And once I understood that, then the game started to slow down a little bit. And I kind of felt that I was really, really supposed to be in the league. So it took me a minute to figure it out, which most rookies it does, but I was glad I was in a really good team and system here in Seattle that Sue helped me a lot, which so I was kind of lucky.
We talk about playing with Sue. Do you have any fun stories about her?
Sue Bird. So my first week or 2 weeks here, once I got drafted, she was actually here. So she went out, we had dinner one night, and then she actually invited me over and we watched playoffs. I don't know if she remembers the story, but someone mentioned to me before I got to the league, like, oh, Sue Bird, she's not gonna take care of you. She's an adult, she has things of her own, like whatever, she's an adult, why would she, whatever. And so I'm at her house, we're watching the game, and she's like, yeah, do you want a snack? I'm like, at this time, I'm very shy. I'm still trying to figure out, like, I'm in the house of Sue Bird, and I was like, yeah, I'll take a snack. And she cut like orange slices. And it was funny because it's like, that's something like a parent does, right? Like she's cutting the slices. She's making sure you're good. She's making sure I feel homed and loved and welcome. And that little thing, which maybe was like nonchalant thing for Sue, was like a big deal for me. Like Sue Bird is cutting orange slices for this rookie. Like, what? Like, that's not, so I would never forget that. I don't think she remembers that, but I love that about Sue, where she just has this welcoming vibe about her. And, it was amazing for me. And right away, I was like, man, I'm here. That's my best friend. So it was great to see that early on in our career.
That's a really fun story. And another amazing player you play with, Stewie. Do you have any fun stories about her?
Stewie and I go way back. We played together in high school on the USA team. And I remember we bring it up every once in a while, but I just remember, we were both awkward, young, quiet people, and we both had that respect for one another, but we were just so goofy and awkward. So it was funny that we talk about now we're like outspoken and we're confident with each other. And before we were just like, hi Stewie, like, hi Jewell, like, all right, see you later, like walk away from each other and like be our separate ways. But just the growth of us together and our friendship and our families and things like that. It's funny how it starts off where you're just like shy and you don't know what to do or say. And now we're like, get over here. I haven't seen you in 3 days or whatever it is. So just our growth as players and as teammates and friends has been pretty cool.
What was your experience like in the Wubble last season?
The Wubble was different. The Wubble was something that you really couldn't prepare for. It was something that allowed me to get out of my comfort zone, really have time to figure out how to be vulnerable, how to be in a space where everything feels chaotic, but also familiar because we're playing basketball so much. So it was a different experience for me. But I think in that Wubble, I was able to grow. I was able to learn. I was able to connect with my teammates better and more, which was, much needed. And I was able to really take the time that I needed to focus on myself and grow in other aspects of life. And so as much as it was chaotic and abnormal, it was also a place of growth.
You talked about it being chaotic. Well, it seems like it was a good chaotic since you won the championship. What's most memorable about the championship?
Yeah, I think the fact that our team was able to stay together the whole time. And obviously the message behind why we went down there with the Say Her Name campaign, and constantly, spreading the message around that and educating people. But also for me personally, with coming into the season, not having Kobe and not having my mentor, it was a lot of emotions on that. So once we won, it was like a final, like, we can finally like have something tangible and enjoy this moment, because we were so all over the place trying to make sure our emotions are in check, educating people, educating ourselves, spreading the word, being encouraging to our teammates and really everyone who was watching. And it was a lot on our shoulders to make sure we did it right and properly. So once we won, it was like, guys, like we got through it together. And that was probably the best thing. And I probably would never, ever forget that Webble season in our championship.
That's really interesting. Because as someone who was like covering the WNBA for the first time during that season,
Yeah.
I think that I never really get the perspective of like that it was that stressful, because it just looks like you're doing amazing work from the outside. So thank you for that inside perspective. So now in the next season, defending the championship, what are the challenges of doing that?
Well, I mean, you have a target on your back. Everyone wants to come out and smoke you, right? They want to make sure that they make their presence felt and known. And for us this season, we are a different looking team. I think our culture here hasn't changed. Our mentality of what we're trying to do here in Seattle is bring championships here. We have a winning culture, a winning mindset. So we're trying to make sure that that never wavers, regardless of who's on the roster, who's not. So we're learning, we're growing, we're changing. I think right now we're in the spot of just continuing to learn who our teammates are, building more confidence within each other, and just going out there and working through it. I think that's the mindset we have, is no matter what, we're going to stay together, we're going to fight through it. And like I said, our culture is to bring championships back to Seattle as many as we can, and that's what we're going to try to aim for every single year.
This is a little bit of a fun question. What was your welcome to the WNBA moment?
I feel like I had a lot, but the one that I remember always, and my brother always brings it up, is I got posted up by Carrie Lawson. She posted me up, and I was like, come on, man. Like, she's not an amazing post player, right? But she's posting this little rookie up, and I'll never forget that. So my brother always brings it up. And now, looking back at it now, me and Kara are actually really good friends. She's a really good mentor. So it's funny that I got posted up, because I mean, in college, you think you're big and strong in the first, and now the play's getting banged up now, and you're getting, yeah. So I remember getting posted up a lot, but I definitely, Kara, she posted me up and scored.
That's funny. So it's the 25th anniversary of the WNBA, which means there's a lot to celebrate. And so I want to get your perspective. Who were some of your favorite WNBA players before you were part of the league?
Yeah, before I was a part of the league, before I really knew a lot about the league, I always Coop. I always watched her. I thought her ability to score in different ways, her tenacity, her vibrant energy that she brought all the time, was someone I always liked to watch. And she was really shifty. And I like that. I like that about her game. She was fun to watch. I like to, as a fan, you want to see someone who's exciting to watch and kind of, let you be a total fan. And she allowed me to do that growing up and be amazed by her ability to just be a superstar. So yeah, Coop.
If you watch anybody growing up, I think that's one person who's definitely great to watch. Yeah. And now, what has been your favorite memory as a WNBA player?
I mean, besides the championships, I honestly just think it's the memories we have in the locker rooms with I've been very fortunate to be in a really good organization where the culture and the chemistry we have off the court with our teammates is amazing. And I think that matters a lot when you have good teammates around you. So I miss, the locker room, the bus rides, the playing cards, all those things are just being with good people, because basketball is going to come and go, but the friendships and relationships that you build, those can last forever.
All right. Tell everyone why they should watch the WNBA if they are not already.
Yeah. you need to watch the WNBA for a lot of reasons. One, it's if you want to learn how to play the game correctly, fundamentals of understanding the purity of basketball, it's always there. This is the toughest league in the world by far. Every night it's a battle. We have the best players in the world. And it's constant action. I mean, the game's evolving. We have amazing players. Athleticism is there. Everything you want in a sports game is here, regardless if, you're a rookie or you're a, 18-year vet. It's constant, great competitive basketball that you can learn from and grow from.
You heard it here. That's why you should watch the WNBA. I love that. So what's the best piece of advice you've received that has helped you throughout your basketball career and your life?
The best advice that I received, probably from Kobe. He wrote on my shoes, create forever and be epic. And it's not just for basketball purposes. I think it's also for off the court as well. There's so many things that you can do in life that is not just about this moment, but can you pass down information? Can you give back to the next generation? Can you leave something more than just a jump shot behind? Even though people were going to ask, how do you get this jump shot? There's something more behind that. So those things and those two quotes I've always, I live by, I have it tatted on me, and I'm constantly reminded to leave a legacy behind, but also be epic, be me always through, and anything you have to do, always be yourself.
What 3 words would you use to describe yourself as a player?
I would say smooth, active, and efficient. Is that okay?
Yeah, I like it. So you're one of my dad's favorite players, and he often thinks that watching you is a great way for me to develop the fundamentals of offense and defense. So I was wondering, how do you develop such a fundamentally sound game?
I think when I was growing up, I always wanted the ball. So to get the ball, you had to play really good defense. You had to be active. You wanted steals, deflections, whatever it is, so you get the ball back. But also too, it's just how I was taught the game. I was taught to play both sides of the floor. I was taught to be a good passer, to not be one-dimensional. I didn't learn how to dribble and do one-on-one moves until later in my career. I don't remember being taught, all these isolation moves, or it was always pass and move, pass and catch, and set good screens and do all those things. Then also play defense. You don't want to be a liability. So I was just taught that way. So I have to give credit to all my coaches from middle school to my dad to high school that taught me how to play. That's how they taught that's how they were taught. And so they made sure that everyone knew that you have to hold your weight on both ends. You can't just be one dimensional. So that's really it's all everyone else. So all my mentors. So I have to give credit to them.
Now let me make something clear for the people checking this out. Sometimes when you hear fundamentally sound, you think that the player is boring, but Jewell is most definitely not boring, and may even be one of the most exciting players on the planet, and somehow make stuff look easy that is absolutely not, and has one of the best nicknames. So tell us the origin of your nickname, the Gold Mamba.
Well, thank you, by the way. The Gold Mamba, that was something that was given to me by Kobe. It was something that we always talked about a little bit, but it was a mix of because I went to Notre Dame and the Golden Dome and all these things, but also Kobe, I randomly hit him up, was like, hey, so Gold Mamba's been thrown around, am I good? Is that my name? Is that okay? And he just finally called me that. He said, yeah, Gold Mamba, I'll see you tomorrow morning. I was like, oh, okay, that's it. He called me, and he officially gave me his name. I'm good. But it's an honor to have that, obviously. It's something that people can't ever take away from me, something that I hold deeply to my heart, and hopefully I could keep that, going for the next generation. But it's kind of cool, obviously, with the whole Kobe thing and who we were and who we are together, and his legacy and everything like that. So I appreciate him for allowing me to use that Mamba name. I appreciate it.
So one of my good friends has dyslexia, so this question is especially important to me. Can you just talk about the programs, the dyslexic advantage and eye to eye, and what makes them important to you?
Yeah, I think one of the best things I've ever done was connect with eye to eye. One, because it's a community of people like me who have different ways of learning, but also the fact that I can relate in a different way. And I don't feel like I'm alone in the process of trying to figure out the simple things of reading and writing and communicating. And so I love that I work with them. I love that I work with people and I'm able to share my story. Growing up, I necessarily didn't know many people that were dyslexic. So when I found that I was, and then I had a learning disability, it was like a panic. Like, I'm different. Like, people are going to judge me. I don't know what this means. Like, do I have to go to a different school? It was just like all these little things that you don't know and you feel. And then the fact that for me, reading and writing are the things we do every day. And those are the things that I struggle with the most. And so how do I explain that to my friends that I have trouble spelling my name or I've struggled reading this calendar? It's like, how do I share that? Because they just see me as a great basketball player and all these things, but in reality, I struggle with a lot of things. So the fact that I joined forces with great companies and people and communities makes me feel able, which we are. We're able to think differently and we're able to process things. And sometimes it helps because we are able to break down problems that other people can't see or things like that. So it's been an honor to work with them. And I just want to do, and I want to do more to spread the word and tell people stories and, let people know they're able and capable of doing great things.
And if you ever, I'm sure you wouldn't, but if you ever need a platform like mine to help empower people with dyslexia, make sure to reach out. I would love to help with that.
Of course, yeah, we're here. I'll definitely hit you up.
All right. So I know you have a friendship with Kyrie Irving, who's one of my favorite NBA players. You said, "We believe that Kobe has brought us together to do good work and to live out his legacy and pass it down." Is there anything you're working on with him that you can discuss?
Yeah, it's been an amazing journey with Kai. He is family to me. He's my brother and, our families are very intertwined. And so I have a lot of respect for him and his family. And, our biggest thing we always talk about is how do we help the young next kings and queens? How do we help support them? How do we give them access to things they didn't have that we didn't have growing up? How do we inspire, motivate, elevate? And so for us, it's constantly working ways to bring people together and also enlighten them. So he just released his consulting business. And so we're working on things like that to help make sure that our people are taken care of, that there's more than just, we're more than just athletes, we're more than just entertainers. There's something deeper in us, rooted in us, and we want to bring that out. And so there's a lot of things that will soon be coming out, hopefully, the next couple of years. And that we want to make sure it's done right. So it's going to be patient with us. It's a process for sure, but we have things that we want to do properly for our kings and queens and make sure that it's the right way and the right people are involved.
Well, I'll look out for that. And you mentioned making sure that the next generation has better opportunities. But how do you handle the responsibility of being a role model to the next generation?
The biggest thing that I can do is share my stories with people. The stories that I've learned from my parents, the stories that I've gone through, my experiences, and pass that down to the next generation. I don't think it's if you have all this knowledge and you just hold on to it, that's not doing anyone any good. There's enough people, there's enough food at the table for everybody. So if I have knowledge, I want to pass that down and hopefully you get to the table too. And if I can help any way I can, come on, And so the way I see it is I'm sharing stories. I'm sharing my access, my world with other people and hopefully inspiring them to get to where I'm at, but also not just giving them information, but also helping them through the process. And I think that's the best way to do it because to get to where we are now, I had help. I didn't do it by myself. So to get to some, next level, you're going to need help. And if I can lend a hand to that next generation of kings and queens, I'm definitely going to do that.
And one last question for you. What advice do you have for the next generation of female athletes?
The best advice that I could give is to fully love yourself. Understand that you are valuable. You have purpose in this world. Give yourself grace. The person you are right now is not the person you will become. So it's a process, and you have to fall in love with that process, and embrace all aspects of it. But it starts with loving yourself and embracing who you are.
Thank you. That's all I've got. It's been a joy to speak with you today. Thank you for your insight. Thank you for doing all the work that you're doing, and I'll see you soon.
Definitely. You're the best. You're the next generation of greatness for sure.
Thank you.
Of course.